Imagine turning on your device and finding your secure connections are gone. No banking access, no private messages. The encrypted data grid that protects your digital identity simply stops working. The systems protecting those communications rely on a very specific defense. They use mathematical problems that are practically impossible for today's computers to solve. But attackers are already finding ways around this. They are collecting encrypted data today, moving it into storage, and waiting. They are betting on a future machine capable of cracking it open. Because banking records and state secrets have a long lifespan, those stored files are at risk. Our current information is vulnerable to a technology that doesn't yet exist. Every time you access an online service, public key cryptography goes to work behind the scenes. It verifies that a website is legitimate and keeps your communication secure. As you can see in this diagram, data packets are secured by mathematical locks based on integer factoring and discrete logarithms. Reversing these operations requires solving the underlying math, a task current computers cannot perform practically. A traditional computer processes information using bits, zeros and ones. To find the solution to these factoring problems, it tests options sequentially, making the brute force process overwhelmingly slow. The security of the global digital economy relies on the assumption that these mathematical barriers will remain too difficult to break. Quantum computers operate using principles of physics that allow them to process information in ways that deviate from traditional logic. Instead of traditional bits, they use quantum bits, or qubits. These qubits exist in complex states that allow them to process certain calculations in ways classical bits cannot replicate. Researchers have developed highly specialized instructions for these qubits. One of the most significant is Shor's algorithm, designed specifically to solve integer factoring. If a machine eventually scales to the level where it can run this algorithm across millions of qubits, it could bypass the mathematical padlocks of modern public key cryptography. A quantum machine possesses a highly targeted capability that happens to unravel the exact mathematics our internet security is built on. If the blueprints for this decryption tool exist, the obvious question is why an attacker hasn't built one yet. The physical qubits required to run these calculations are incredibly fragile. Any interaction with their surrounding environment causes them to lose their quantum properties through a process called decoherence, introducing constant errors. To fix this, researchers rely on quantum error correction. Multiple flawed physical qubits combine to create a single, stable logical qubit. Running Shor's algorithm requires thousands of these. Scaling to this immense volume is a major engineering challenge, out of reach for today's machines. Controlling and correcting those errors at scale makes building a functional, code-breaking machine one of the most difficult physical engineering tasks in human history. Different cryptographic systems face different risks. While public key systems based on factoring are the primary concern, symmetric cryptography is affected differently, meaning some encryption methods remain secure. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin rely on signature schemes to authorize transactions. But the development of quantum hardware wouldn't cause Bitcoin to automatically disappear. Developers can introduce upgraded signature protocols, allowing users to move assets into protected addresses. The primary defense is post-quantum cryptography. Security engineers are developing new mathematical algorithms capable of running on conventional computers while resisting attacks from both classical and quantum machines. Cybersecurity organizations are actively standardizing these alternatives. They are designing the mathematical shields we need today, rather than waiting for a functional quantum computer to arrive. Cryptographic algorithms are deeply embedded into global infrastructure, from internal banking networks to everyday medical devices. Updating these systems requires rewriting software, replacing physical hardware, and redesigning underlying protocols across billions of connected endpoints. This map highlights critical infrastructure nodes with exceptionally long life cycles. Devices like satellites, industrial grid controllers, and shipping systems cannot be easily updated and often operate for decades. Upgrading cryptography across a logistical footprint this massive takes years. Because of this, the transition to secure standards must begin well before quantum hardware is perfected. Upgrading encryption algorithms will not eliminate standard digital threats. Hackers will still exploit software bugs, malware, compromised devices, and poor security practices. Interestingly, quantum physics offers defensive tools as well. Quantum key distribution uses physical properties to establish secure communication. If a third party attempts to intercept the data, the transmission state changes instantly, shattering the connection and revealing the intrusion. Experts debate exactly when a cryptographically relevant machine will finally operate at scale, but the computing landscape is moving toward a reality where classical and quantum machines operate side by side. Ultimately, quantum computers won't simply destroy the internet overnight. The goal of cybersecurity researchers is to implement resilient algorithms today, ensuring that when reliable quantum machines arrive, our current encryption is